fullest of regards to the fellow members of the Alpha branch of the Utopia. And now, commencing video.
Hello everyone, my name is the one and only Silverreploid CLE. How are you guys doing on YouTube? That's right, the Silverreploid / Inkling coming at you live looking fresh in the flesh on the net, stream or non-stream, and welcome back everyone to the video. Welcome to the first video of November, if you will. And although, well, first reaction to be exact, because well, yesterday, well, this weekend I haven't done that much except for that claw machine montage that I did. And I hope you guys enjoyed, by the way, and I hope you guys are also having a very blessed and safe Monday this far. And let's just jump into our first reaction once again on November. I guess you could say I haven't been doing quite that much because, well, lately I've been sleeping. I guess you could say the daylight savings kind of got to me a little bit, but that's not really the case. I was just overly tired, but thankfully, yeah, I'm getting back to doing some reactions and whatnot. And I've been also working on some side projects and everything, which I'm hoping to get them done before the year concludes. I'm not sure, but hopefully I will get there. But either way, guys, let's go ahead and get to our SCP that we have not reacted to in a while, the one that I've yet to get to actually, because well, one person informed me about this episode called Old Death. This is SCP number 2935. And yeah, guys, before we get to reacting to this episode, for those who are new to the channel, thank you as always for tuning into the channel and giving a glimpse of any video you look at. And if you want to see more, please hit the like button. If you also enjoyed, leave your comments down below and hit the subscribe button and the notifications activated. Also, big shout out to members on behalf of the Utopian branch, aka the membership branch. If you also wish to become a member on behalf of the Utopian branch, please refer to the join button and review the perks. When you join the perks, we're going to say you by yours truly. Make sure you also subscribe to SCP Explained for more of their explanatory animations. As always, guys, their channel is provided in the description, comments, and the outro. And with that being said, let's go ahead and check out this SCP anomaly. We shall see how it goes. Wrong clip now. Hi everyone. Before continuing, it is with great pleasure to let you guys know that I made a cameo. If you'd like to receive a personal video shout out from me, whether it's your birthday, your wedding day, or if you even like to receive a congratulatory shout out for your gaming achievement, sporting achievements, social media account milestones, and so much more to help you to also start your cameo journey, please refer to my link located in the video description.
There are some things human beings aren't meant to know, and it's the sworn duty of the SCP Foundation to discover and contain such information. But sometimes knowledge is discovered that shakes even the Foundation itself to its very core. One such discovery occurred on April 28, 2016. That night, SCP-2935 made itself known to the Foundation personnel. To this day, the exact nature of SCP-2935 is a mystery that even the Foundation.
Before I continue, is it me or have I been reading to a lot of death-related anomalies of SCP lately? I don't know, it shouldn't be that big of a difference because, well, every anomaly have different capabilities, whether they're good or atrocious capabilities, if you will, but it shouldn't matter to me or anyone else. Either way, let's resume.
Its brightest minds can't completely understand. Everything we know about SCP-2935 today comes from 3 doomed missions to the anomalous zone's interior. This is the story of those infamous expeditions. The nightmare began around 5 a.m. when SCP Foundation Site 81 in Bloomingdale, Indiana, intercepted a distorted radio signal. Communications personnel at the site traced this strange signal back to the unincorporated area of Joppa, Indiana, near U.S. Interstate 70. As is Foundation policy, a team of field agents were dispatched to the location in order to determine what they were dealing with. However, rather than finding anything that could logically produce such a signal, they instead discovered a long-abandoned cemetery. The most recent death on any of the tombstones was recorded as being over 100 years ago, all the way back in 1908. On further investigation, the Foundation discovered an unmapped limestone cave opening beneath the cemetery, and when they sent a drone into the depths of the cave, it appeared to quickly exit out the other side of the cave. But something wasn't right. The area that the drone was observing appeared consistent with the landscape from which it entered, but now it looked somehow grayer. It lacked the color of life of the place it just come from. The grass was dead, there were no trees, no shrubs, no animals or birds in the sky. They weren't looking at our world, they were looking at a strange reflection of our world on the other side of the cave. In fact, it wasn't a cave at all. It was a passageway between 2 dimensions. It was SCP-2935.
I've seen something like
Just
that before.
then, they were able to unscramble the distorted transmission they'd been receiving. It went as follows. This is an automated emergency broadcast from the SCP Foundation and your national government. One or more of our sites is experiencing a communication breakdown, likely due to a containment breach of unknown magnitude. All citizens are ordered to stay in their homes as containment teams work to secure the breach. This message will broadcast from April 20th, 2016 until, at that point, the message would cut and repeat.
It must have lasted for a long time given that the anomaly was still like going unhinged at the time.
As it had for 8 straight days. The message source, Site-81, but not this Site-81. The SCP Foundation was receiving an emergency distress signal from themselves in another dimension, a bizarre event that even the Foundation had never experienced before. Field agents were terrified by the implications of what they just heard and contacted Site-81 Command to request additional units. The Foundation wished to fully understand this anomaly as quickly as possible due to the potential threat it could pose toward the Foundation, so they dispatched Mobile Task Force Epsilon 13, codenamed Manifest Destiny, to perform the first of 3 manned missions into the heart of the anomalous zone. The first exploratory mission into SCP-2935 was codenamed Gauntlet and consisted of a 4-man team fitted with full hazmat suits and direct video and audio links to Mission Command. The team was led by a field operative known only as Agent Juno. His subordinates were Agents Kale, Devon, and Underwood. Their directive was to gather samples and survey the area positioned directly around the insertion point, meaning the other cave mouth of SCP-2935. The mission only lasted about an hour, but what they saw in there would stay with these men for the rest of their lives. After a 15-minute trek through the cave, Manifest Destiny arrived in the mirror dimension, where they were struck by the eerie silence of a place that seemed identical and yet so different from their home dimension.
Wait, something that correlative I remember, because I think when some tourists were inside the cave, they witnessed this cave, right? And they too saw the dimension that's correlated to the one that they were dwelling in at the time. I reacted to one video pertaining to that. I have a feeling that this is going to like reopen itself, but in a most different perspective, given that they're investigating the anomaly within the cave.
The first observation they made was the total absence of all living vegetation. Trees, grass, weeds, everything, it was all dead. On orders from their superiors back in the original dimension, that we'll refer to from here on as Dimension Prime, Manifest Destiny headed deeper into the mirror dimension of SCP-2935. They traveled 2 kilometers without detecting a single sign of plant or animal life, not even insects. Eventually, they came upon a farmhouse with 2 cars parked outside. With authorization from Command, Manifest Destiny breached the house and headed inside. Agent Kale confirmed that there was still power flowing to the building, as the lighting appeared to work just fine, but they came upon a horrifying discovery in the house's dining room. 3 adult corpses, 2 female, 1 male, were seated at the table. A 4th corpse, that of a male child, was sprawled out on the ground nearby. As if the death of what looked to be an entire family wasn't awful enough, the Manifest Destiny team noticed a number of other alarming details. There were no signs of decomposition on the bodies, nor did there appear to be any obvious cause of death. The family's last meal was still on the table: chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans. While the food looked cold and stale, there was no evidence of rot or spoiling. The team found an open newspaper dated April 19, 2016, illustrating that the family may have died a full 8 days before the discovery. In Dimension Prime, decay would already be very well underway by that point, yet here there wasn't even a smell. Instead, everything was just covered in a thin layer of dust. Command requested that Manifest Destiny collect samples of the food as well as hair, skin, and fluids from the corpses for further study. Small electronics like smartphones were also taken from the bodies. Agent Devon turned on the television in the living room and found that while most stations were now running test signals, the shopping channel was still live. Well, the feed was live at least. Both hosts sat in front of the cameras dead, but perfectly preserved. The date on the screen read April 28, 2016. Suggesting that the times of Dimension Prime and Mirror Dimension were exactly the same. In fact, everything seemed the same, the only difference between the 2 dimensions being that some kind of mysterious apocalyptic event had occurred in the last 8 days in SCP-2935's Mirror Dimension, but exactly what had happened or how remained a mystery. When Manifest Destiny exited the farmhouse, they once again remarked on the lack of all signs of life around them. At this point, the team returned to the insertion point of SCP-2935, but were instructed to remain in the mirror dimension while additional units joined them inside. Manifest Destiny swelled to 16 members, with the notable addition of Agent Roy as the new commanding field officer. The team split into 2 groups of 8, and Agent Roy and his men infiltrated the mirror dimension Site-81 while Agent Juno's detachment attempted to access the base's off-site deep storage servers. This second expedition was codenamed Overland and led the Foundation's field agents even deeper into the terrifying mystery of SCP-2935. Accessing the site was easy for Roy's detachment. It seemed there were relatively few cars on the road at the time of the mysterious extinction event. In the distance, fire still smoldered in the wreckage of planes that looked to have just dropped out of the sky. Agent Roy and his team, like all SCP Foundation personnel, were fitted with vitals trackers, and they assumed that the distress signal that started this whole thing could have been triggered by the deaths of every member of the Foundation at once in the mirror universe. Once inside Site-81, they realized that the assumption was probably right. Going door to door in the administrative wing, they found the perfectly preserved corpses of everyone they knew to be stationed there in Dimension Prime. People who were without a doubt still alive in their universe. Samples from the corpses that the Foundation would later study even confirmed the reason that the bodies were perfectly preserved. The corpses had experienced complete and sudden death on a cellular level, and even the bacteria that would typically take part in the decomposition process had died with it. In SCP-2935, death was total and absolute, across all types of life forms. As Agent Roy's team ventured further into the bowels of Site-81, they made another unsettling discovery. Their own corpses, in roughly the same spots they'd been inside Dimension Prime's Site-81 8 days prior. Some of the Foundation's top scientists, including the esteemed Dr. Bright, were also found dead inside the facility. In an attempt to see just how far this unexplained phenomenon stretched, Agent Roy's team decided to inspect the containment cells, where they found that all the Mirror Universe's SCPs, including SCP-2996, were dead. In his desperation to find some kind of exception to the extinction event, Agent Roy revealed a terrifying secret to the rest of his team. SCP-682, the immortal misanthropic lizard and one of the deadliest creatures known to the SCP Foundation, was contained at this very facility right below them. Could it have something to do with what was going on here? They descended into the containment facility to discover an even more unsettling truth. SCP-682, the unkillable anomaly, floated dead in its tank. Death truly made no exceptions within SCP-2935. Agent Roy's team left the site and rendezvoused with Agent Juno's team to send their research back to Dimension Prime using automated drones. Both teams remained in the mirror dimension for another manned operation codenamed 19. They had no idea it would be their final mission. As they descended deeper into the facility, passing more dead SCPs, they discovered one final clue. Based on the activity of the Foundation servers, the event occurred at roughly 3 a.m. While underground in SCP-2935 Site-81, the team accidentally activated the base's on-site nuclear weapon, a failsafe meant to be detonated in the case of an emergency containment breach. Due to the base's failsafe protocols, every member of the Manifest Destiny team was locked and sealed inside Site-81. They, along with everything else, were incinerated in the nuclear blast. Once again, the mirror universe inside of SCP-2935 was lifeless. But that isn't where it ends. When the automated drones returned out of the SCP-2935 cave to the field operations in Dimension Prime, they were in for their own horrifying discovery. None of the footage or information gathered from SCP-2935 illuminated how or why the extinction event occurred. Everyone and everything simply dropped dead at the exact same moment. Nobody was aware, nobody was prepared. Death came suddenly and silently, and none were spared. All the Foundation on Dimension Prime were left with was a message from one of the agents from Manifest Destiny, Agent Keller. His final message was, "I don't have any answers. I don't think there are any. I'll do this one thing and hope that fixes it. Seal it shut. You've got to lock it in here with us. I'm sorry." The Foundation were at first confused by this until they discovered a final encrypted audio log buried in the files recovered from the Mirror Universe's Site-81. It was a message from Keller himself, but not the Keller from Universe Prime. In this message, Keller described the Foundation in the Mirror Universe receiving the exact same distorted transmission that they did a few days earlier from a cave in Joppa. When he and the others were dispatched inside, they discovered the same lifeless post-extinction event world that was now so familiar to the Foundation command. But there was a key difference. This wasn't the mirror dimension they'd just been studying, but a third, entirely different dimension. In his haunting final words, Mirror Dimension Keller admits that whatever caused the event in that third dimension, an entity in that mirror dimension, Keller believed this was the specter of death itself and had followed him back into his world, and history had repeated itself. SCP-2935 was the passageway through which absolute death could pass from dimension to dimension, and our dimension was the next in line. The deaths of Manifest Destiny may have saved our entire universe, as anyone passing back through the cave had the potential to bring death itself back with them. The Foundation decided in the end to follow Keller's advice. They sealed the entrance to SCP-2935 with concrete and now kept it under constant watch, since what waits behind the barrier is an entity even they have no power to stop if it ever got through. After all, it had killed them all before, or at least another version of them. What's one more dimension on the pile? Why, it may now just seem like a simple slab of concrete under an abandoned cemetery. This is why SCP-2935 might be the most dangerous SCP of all.
No freaking kidding. So, it has been attested by the SCP Foundation, that they investigated SCP-2935 and it was confirmed by them that it was one of the most heinous of all entities because of the fact that the mirror dimension, if you will, is considered to be one of the most unexpected entities, anomalous, death-bringing entities that brought instant death unexpectedly to numerous people and numerous objects, if you will. Manifest Destiny, the investigation group, investigated the mirror dimension where they witnessed a lot of corpses with the inclusion of the humans and the many other objects. But what's weird about it is because the food was not tainted and everything, and some of those objects that they encountered that may have some more life to them, and a lot of stuff that went down in that dimension. Now, I guess for the prime dimension is like the actual lively dimension, but in terms of the mirror dimension, it's gone full instinct. It's gone full extinction. So yeah, that's pretty dangerous. And part of me found that dimension highly familiar for some reason because I saw something like that pertain to that in the past. And now there's like a third dimension. Even though the group was investigating the dimension at the time, it was like, yeah, it was so deeply unhinged to see that there were actually people involved when they were in the dimension altogether, and they had Site 81 and all that stuff with the agents and whatnot, the scientists, the soldiers, etc. Everyone is dying just unexpectedly. That's just scary. But at least the investigation team did not meet the same fate because they were in their hazmat suits. But yeah, at any rate, guys, that right there is my requested episode, reaction to the episode SCP-2935 Old Death, where extinction takes its course in the mirror dimension. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction to this animation. If you did, as always, guys, please hit the like button and leave your comments down below, and subscribe for more with the notifications activated. Make sure you also subscribe to SCP Explained for more of their explanatory animations. As always, guys, their channel is provided in the description, comments in the outro. My social media, Twitch, and my song list are provided in the description as well, with the inclusion of my Cameo link if you want to request a personal video shout out from yours truly. Links in the description as well. And if you also wish to commission the song that you need for your projects, etc., please do not hesitate to reach out to me via social media, and we'll go from there for I do song commissions. This is yours truly, Silverreploid CLE, signing off for now. I love you guys, stay fresh in the flesh and off the hook, and on my half of Utopia, I will catch every single one of you in the next video. I want to let you guys know that we recently reopened the store and new season merch is officially available. Claim your piece in the link in the description of the video and you will have the merch in the palm of your hands. My treat to you for your everlasting love and support. Some quantities are limited.
Hey guys, Silverreploid CLE here. I want to thank all of you for watching this video. Please smash on the like button, subscribe for more content if you're new, and please turn on the push notifications. And also, please make sure you check out my other videos or any video on display and show tons of love and support for not only me, but to those who are also involved. Have a great one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!